Hi guys, got my headphones in today because last week I had a few sound issues, so I'm hoping today we won't have any sound issues. Welcome. Please grab your oils. If you've got some oils, grab a tea. And we'll get started. Just give it a little minute or so. Just bear with me. And for those of you watching this class back, welcome. It's lovely to have you. So let's get started. So today I'm going to be presenting this is our kind of latest introduction class, and this class is called Essential Oils Made Easy, and normally it's about 45 minutes. So I'm going to whiz through it today and just kind of go through it very briefly. So there's a lot of information in here that I could go into in a lot more detail, but I just kind of want to give everyone a bit of a flavour of this. I often do classes and they're kind of the next stage on from this. So this class is really for people that know nothing about oils at all, or for people that, you know, maybe you've just got your kit, maybe you came to a class a few months ago and you're like, oh, I can't remember what it was she said and how to safely use them. Or maybe you're just curious and you just wonder what it is that, you know, so many of us are kind of banging on about all the time and want to know why suddenly my feed is about oils all the time. And hopefully this will give you a little bit of clarity. So just to say, you know, I'm not a doctor, I'm not an aromatherapist, I'm not making any false claims about these oils. I'm just suggesting ways that they can support your health and sharing from my heart, because they've obviously helped me so much and I feel that I want to share them with the world. So very briefly, there are other videos about me and about my kind of journey that are on this feed if you're watching this back on my IGTV, so please just check out any of my hormones videos. But very briefly, my name's Kate, I'm a yoga teacher, I live in Ibiza, and I suffered very badly from a lot of hormone issues my whole life, and I came to use the oils and found that every month I used them, I noticed big improvements. For me it was period pain as well as a whole host of other issues. And I was just really astounded that by using essential oils, they could make such a massive difference in my life. I never imagined that. So that really led me to this journey of sharing oils and then becoming an educator. And that is who I am, and that's what I do. So the goal of this class is really to empower you, okay? Doterra are really a beautiful company. They're a privately owned, debt-free company. You know, they haven't got investors telling them what to do. The founders are the original people that created this company, and they're really about two things. They're about empowerment and about purity, and they're about empowering from the seed up. So, you know, we don't own our farms. We go to the place in the world where the oil actually belongs indigenously, so it flourishes. That's where it's supposed to grow. And we actually support farmers and growers. So we pay them fairly, we pay them on time. And if you're interested in this, if you put in doTERRA co-impact sourcing, co-space impact sourcing, you'll see lots of kind of stories about how we support farmers and support growers. And this is something that is really the heart of doTERRA co-impact sourcing. So they're really about empowering from the seed up, you know, all the way through to empowering families, empowering you, empowering me, so that we've got these other tools, so that we've got other options that we can go to, okay? And also, you know, empowering people like me, like yoga teachers, to be able to have a business to earn, you know, consistent income, especially, you know, in these current times. So empowerment is really one of the pillars, and the second pillar is purity. And doTERRA's tagline is "Pursue what's pure." So I'm going to talk a little bit more about that as we go through this class today. But purity is really of the essence with doTERRA. And you know, the oils, the vibration of these oils when you smell them is just like so high. They're not like any other oils that I've ever smelled. So in this class, we're going to talk about 3 cool things about oils, 3 ways that you can use oils and how you can get oils into your home. So firstly, 3 cool things that some of you may know, some of you may not know. So firstly, they're 100% natural, they're safe, and you can't be addicted to essential oils, okay? And what's really interesting is that essential oils are what the plant, so the flower, the bud, the root, the bark, the seed, produce to be able to protect themselves naturally. So to protect themselves from bacteria, from radiation from the sun, from predators, from, you know, poisonous toxins in the soil. They're actually what the plant produces to protect themselves, okay? So we extract that oil in a number of different ways, and we actually bring you that oil. And it makes sense, you know, the composition of plants and humans is actually not that dissimilar. And so it makes sense that we use these oils to support ourselves. And this is not something that's new, you know, it's not Ibiza woo-woo. This is something that for thousands of years, our ancestors would have used plant medicine, would have used herbs. But essential oils, because they're so potent, are 60 to 70% times more potent than herbs. So for example, peppermint oil, which we're going to start with, 1 drop of peppermint oil is the equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea. So you only need 1 drop. They're so powerful and so strong. So that's the first thing, okay? They come from the plants, and they're what the plant uses to protect themselves. So, you know, we can do the same. The third part of safety really is the purity of essential oils. And this comes up a lot, you know, a lot for me. And I know myself, I used to kind of buy cheap oils back in the day when I didn't really know much about oils. And the essential oil industry is unregulated. So if you go online and you buy an oil and it says 100% natural, or, you know, anyone can pop that stamp on their oil, and it's not a regulated industry. So doTERRA realised this. So they formulated their own stamp, which is certified therapeutic grade, okay? And this, for kind of layman's purposes, means that these oils are so stringently tested. You know, pursue what's pure is their tagline. And they go way beyond the kind of the standard GCMS testing. And actually there's a website called sourcetoyou.com. So just drop that down, sourcetoyou.com. And if you actually go onto that website, you can actually put in the number of your bottle underneath, and it will tell you all about that journey, and it'll actually give you a report that tells you about all the quality testing of your particular oil. So the first oil that we're going to talk about is peppermint. Now, peppermint is very high in a compound called menthol, and the menthol is what kind of helps to it's really analgesic, so it helps with discomfort. And doTERRA's peppermint has more menthol than any other essential oil. And when you look at this report, you'll see the spikes in menthol, so you can see how pure this particular peppermint is. Okay, so doTERRA have their own form of testing, lots and lots of testing. You know, if you put in doTERRA testing methods, you can see lots of reports. They're very transparent with their testing. So let's talk about an oil. Let's talk about peppermint, okay? So maybe you want to smell some from the bottle. If you happen to have some, maybe you want to put a little drop on your hands like this, and rub your hands together and take a little inhale. Such a gorgeous oil. So this oil clears the airways, clears the lungs. It really cools the body. I love to make a little spritz in the summer and keep it in my fridge just to cool me down. It's very energizing. And as I said, it's an analgesic oil, so you can massage it onto your shoulders, any areas of tension. If you have a headache, you can put a little bit on your temples, avoiding the eyes, and it just really releases tension. It's just beautiful, beautiful. Love it. Really good for the lungs as well. So that's peppermint oil, okay? So that's our first oil. And that just basically is just demonstrating how safe essential oils are, okay? So that's the first thing. The second cool thing about essential oils is that they're effective. So essential oils are what we call lipid soluble, so they're fat soluble. So the way that they work is that they actually penetrate the cell membrane, because the cells are actually, fat as well. So as opposed to some other medications which are water soluble, essential oils can actually penetrate the cell membrane. And often they're more effective than many modern approaches to healthcare. Okay, so they permeate the cell membrane, and that's how they work. And really, they work to support the body's natural immunity. Okay, so one oil that's really amazing for this is an oil called On Guard, and we call this the protective blend. And this is a combination of very powerful oils: cinnamon, rosemary, wild orange, eucalyptus, and clove. Clove is a really spicy, strong oil. And this oil is like a powerhouse to really kind of help support us, the protective blend. And, the best way to use essential oils is not to kind of wait until you're maybe feeling a little bit under the weather. Is to use them as part of your everyday routine. So this oil, especially in the last year, is an oil that I've been using a lot. When I come to work in my office, I have a little roller of it, and I tend to kind of roller it on my arms, roller it on the back of my neck, a diluted version, and it's an oil that I'll diffuse a lot too. I'm going to talk a little bit about how you use the oils in a second. Okay, so that's the second thing. They're effective. They work. Okay, Doterra has like a 60 to 70% retention rate of customers, and we wouldn't have that if the products didn't work. The products are amazing. Okay, so third thing. They're affordable, and this is a common one that I get. They're too expensive, so I want to kind of break this down a little bit. So often, they're more affordable than modern healthcare. Now, I'm not saying that modern healthcare doesn't have its place. 100% it does. But for example, if I get a headache, you might get a headache, and you might get in the car, drive to the chemist, buy your headache medication, come home, or get a prescription, go to the doctors, and actually the amount of money that's cost you to get to the chemist to get that headache tablet, you could have used like 1 drop of peppermint oil, taken some water, massaged it on your temples, and 9 times out of 10 you'll feel better. Not always, but 9 times out of 10, just by using the oils consciously, you can really support your overall health. Okay, so in terms of the cost, they cost pennies per drop. So in one of these bottles, this is like the larger size bottles. They come in like a small little 80 drop, or this one. This is the standard size at 250 drops. So in here, for example, a drop of peppermint or a drop of lavender, say, a bottle of lavender costs wholesale price, so my price, and I'm going to talk to you about that at the end of this class. Wholesale price is £19. I've done this in pounds, 25 for a whole bottle. Now, if you work that out in terms of cost per drop, it's like 0.077, so not even like a penny per drop. Okay, so it's like pennies per drop. Even the most expensive oils, the more expensive oils like frankincense, because these oils are so potent and strong, you don't need much, you just need like a drop. And you can just use that, and often that will do its job. So that's so those 2 things: safe, effective, and affordable. So how do we use essential oils? So the first way, you can open them up and you can smell them. And when you smell an oil, the tiny little compounds, some of those will come out into the atmosphere. They go up into the nose, they go into the olfactory bulb behind the nose, and into the limbic area of the brain, okay? And the limbic area of the brain is the area where our emotions are really controlled, where the hippocampus, the amygdala, where our emotions are triggered really and stored. So sometimes you can smell an oil and you'll be like, that reminds me of something, but I don't know what it was. And often you don't know what those emotions are, but smelling the oil can just kind of unlock them, So if you're working with a particular issue, if you're working with ancestral healing, if you're working with patterns, then essential oils can really help you. They can help you kind of bring that forward, and they can support you. When you smell an oil, before you've even smelt that, that's actually having a massive effect on the body. And even if you're not smelling it, it's going in. So if you use it on your feet, it's still being absorbed by the body. And we've actually got smell receptors on every organ of the body, on the kidneys and on the liver. It's really amazing. So just by smelling that oil like that, you're going to affect trillions of cells in the body. So powerful just to smell like that, okay? But some of those little compounds are going to escape into the atmosphere. So you can either just smell it from the bottle like that, or you can put a drop on your hands and inhale like this. bring it close to your face, but they are so potent you often want to sort of start away and then come closer because they're so strong. The other way that you can use is in a diffuser. I've got my lovely little Pilot portable diffuser here, which is a really nice way to cleanse the air. So when I'm in my office, you know, there's a few people, it's a co-work space, I like to have my diffuser on, just cleaning the air and making sure that the air's nice and clean. They also make you feel great, you know, so they affect the emotions. So if you're feeling like angry or a little bit frustrated and you smell an oil, instantly that can just switch up the mood. Okay, and also, you know, when we inhale the oils, they support our respiratory system as well. So that's the first way. It's called aromatic use of the oils. The second way is what we call topical use of the oils. Now, when we're using oils topically, we do always recommend using oils with a carrier oil. So that could be like an almond oil, or that could be a cream, or it could be a coconut oil. A fractionated coconut oil is the oil that doTERRA does, the carrier oil. And the reason that we want to use a carrier oil is because it's heavier. So when we open that, some of those little compounds are going to disappear. So if I'm going to put that on my skin, then about 50% of that oil will evaporate. If we use a carrier oil, then 100% of that oil goes into the skin. So, you know, when you're using oils for wrinkles and oils, you know, for particular areas of pain in the body, then you really want 100% of that oil. So it does actually make your oils go further to use a carrier oil. But there are instances where I put oils on my hand and I don't use them, but we always do recommend. We especially recommend dilution with spicier oils and with children. So, you know, if you were using an oil with clove in, like the On Guard, this is an oil that can cause sensitivity because it's so spicy. So you really want to make sure that you're using a carrier oil with those more spicy oils like oregano, clove, those kind of spicier oils. And you know, there are times when I use lavender and I don't necessarily dilute it, but we always recommend using a carrier oil. When you're using oils on kids, you want to start by using oils on their feet. And we use a stronger dilution with kids. So there's lots of different information on different dilutions for different ages. And, you know, if you're using it on a senior, on someone older, you want to look at the dilution for them as well. And when we're using oils topically, we always want to be careful that we're not using them on the inner eye, the inner ear, or inside the ear. You can use them on the outside of the ear for earache. You can use them kind of on the outside of the nose if you've got sinus issues. I actually do use oils around my eye for hay fever. I get itchy eyes with a dilution. But if you get the oils in your eyes or certain other areas of the body, then they can be quite, you know, certain oils can make your eyes water and be uncomfortable. If that does happen, you never use water, you always use a fat. So just put that fat where the oil is and it will instantly dilute, okay? So we want to use the oils topically for different skin things. They're great for the skin or for aches and pains in the body. And the third way, and this is specific to doTERRA oils, okay? I'm not talking about any other oils, and I'm not everybody feels comfortable with this. So, you know, you have to kind of see where you're at on this journey. I have some people on my team and they don't feel comfortable with this, and some of us do feel comfortable. So do your research and see what you're feeling. And this is internal use of oils, okay? So I don't take a lot of oils internally, but there are a couple that I do take internally. One that I do is lemon. I put 1 drop of lemon in my water every morning, just to help my body cleanse. If I'm not feeling well, I have another protocol and I use little veggie caps and I put some oils in there. Alternatively as well, you can put an oil under your tongue, but it depends what oil. You need to do your research. Obviously, you know, if you've got any medical conditions or you're taking medication, then always make sure that you get the right advice before taking oils internally. Hey, Christy, my niece is here. One other thing to say as well is if you're using oils topically on the skin, then you want to be careful of photosensitive oils, so namely the citruses. So if you're putting them on, if you're using them, if you're a massage therapist, you know, be wary of using the photosensitive oils, the citruses, and then going out in the sun because they can cause skin sensitivity. Okay, so let's whiz through a few little oils very quickly, okay, today. So we're going to start with lemon. Now, lemon is the oil of focus. Love this oil. Great oil for, you know, if you need kids to do their homework and they're a little bit distracted, you can put a little bit in a diffuser and have it near them while they're doing their homework. You can make a little blend in a little roller for them. And these little rollers I'll just show you. Little roller on the top, make a little blend and just pop it on their feet before they're doing their homework or if they've got a test. It's a great oil to cleanse. So it takes about 48 lemons to make a bottle of lemon essential oil, and it actually comes from the skin, not the flesh. There's no vitamins in the essential oil, but what you do get is the antioxidants from the rind of the lemon. And if you're taking lemon and you're like grating the rind into your water, you need to be careful, because often they wax the lemons and that can trap the pesticides. So you know that when you're using a drop of that in your water, I actually squeeze lemon as well in my water, okay? So also a great cleanser for the home, and a really good tip for any of you mums, if your kids like stick sticky stuff on the walls, you can just put a little drop of lemon, leave it for a little while, and then just wipe it off and it gets rid of all of the stickies. It's really amazing, okay? So that's lemon. I love to put that in my water every single day. You can also make a really good face scrub with it as well. So the second oil is frankincense, and frankincense is one of the more highly priced oils that doTERRA does. It's a very precious oil. It's known as the king, a great oil to calm the nervous system, to support if you're, having anxious feelings or you're feeling a little bit low. It's a tree. We source it from Somalia, and it's really good to promote calm feelings. It's also very good for wrinkles. So it actually helps the collagen, boost the collagen in the skin and helps the skin actually repair. So this is a great one that you could, put into your moisturizer or put into your serum just to help, to help the cells of the skin. And it actually helps the cells of the body perform more optimally as well. And this oil, we've got an app, which I'll share at the end. And if you look up this app, like frankincense and lavender just have hundreds and hundreds of different uses. There's not much that this oil doesn't do, hence it's called the king. Okay, so moving on to a different oil. Now this oil is a good one if you've got kids that get travel sickness, if you get a bit bloaty, or if you like to eat late at night. It's coming into kind of picnic season, and a lot of people like to eat a lot of bread and stuff that maybe bloats their bellies. And we do an oil called Zengust. In the States it's Digesten, in Europe it's Zengust. And this oil is all of the herbs that are very good for the stomach. So coriander, ginger, cardamom, peppermint, fennel and anise. And it's really good. You can take it internally in some water, or you can just massage it onto your stomach. And again, if you know that you're going on a long car journey with your kids and they get a little bit sicky, you can make a little roller for their age and just roller it on their feet, or even roller it on their tummy if they've got a sore tummy. Good for constipation, good if you've got a little bit of diarrhea, anything stomach. This is a really good oil, and it's quite gentle as well. So aches and pains, feeling aches and pains, and I've been suffering. Some of you that have been following me may know I've had few issues with my shoulder of late, and this oil has been like my go-to. It's an oil called Deep Blue. This is an oil that we wouldn't use on little kids. It's got a child lock on it, but it's very good for older kids when they have like growing pains. But as you know, essential oils are, they're very precious plant medicine. So you want to make sure that if you've got oils, you're keeping them up away from your kids anyway. But if you've got older kids and they've got achy pains, or if you've got shoulders, achy shoulders or achy joints or headaches or period pain, then this oil is amazing, and it's called Deep Blue. And it's a combination of wintergreen, camphor, osmanthus, chamomile, ylang ylang and helichrysum, the oil of surrendering pain. So really good for topical use, not for internal use. So not all of the oils can be used, internally, some of them. So again, you need to look at this app. There's an app called Modern Essentials. I'll share it with you at the end if you're interested. And this is a really good little app that just tells you. So if you're not sure about an oil, you can just go on there, and one oil will have like many, many, many uses. Okay, so that's Deep Blue. So moving on. And this is an oil called Air. We're actually out of stock in Europe at the moment, annoyingly, because I want you to order it. And this oil is really good for the lungs. Again, this is not an oil that you would take internally. It's an oil that you would use topically, inhale, or use in the diffuser, okay? And this is a combination of eucalyptus, which is great for the lungs, melaleuca, lemon, cardamom, ravensara with a T, which is really good for the lungs, and laurel leaf. And that together is such a great blend. And I'm asthmatic, but I don't use the asthma medication. And what I do is if ever I get this little asthma-y cough, I put a little drop on my hands like this. I make like a little funnel, and then I breathe it in, or I massage it on my lungs. Again, you can diffuse it. And for me, it does work. I'm not suggesting that you would necessarily stop your medication and use this, but for me, I've got very mild asthma, and it's something that helps when I get a little cough or if I get a little bit allergic. And this is called Air. And again, you can massage it onto the front, you can massage it onto the back, or you could just diffuse it, if you've got a little cough. Really great one. And again, if you were using these with kids, you want to look at their age, look at the dilution, and make sure that you're doing the right ratio for them, and would always start with kids using on the feet. Okay, so a very different oil, and actually one of the cheapest oils that doTERRA do is wild orange, the oil of abundance. So a great oil if you're feeling like you need to get back into your flow, if you want to invite abundance in, whether that's financial, creative. I love this oil. I love to blend it with peppermint in my diffuser in the afternoon. It's like every month this is on my order. The citruses are very energizing, so if you're feeling a little bit flat and a little bit down, then you just inhale them or put them in your diffuser. They really make you feel nice and just give you a little pep up, bring you the Ibiza sunshine into your home. So it's energizing, invigorating and uplifting, but photosensitive, so just be aware of that, okay? Okay, so I've talked a lot about essential oils, but actually what a lot of people don't know is that doTERRA's #1 best-selling product is actually their vitamins. And I'm not going to kind of go on about these. I might do a separate class on these, but just if you're interested, write down the doTERRA Lifelong Vitality Pack. Drop me a message at the end of this call, and people on my team, like last week, have been doing classes on these that I can tag you in on. And these vitamins have really changed my life. I was feeling, I'm 48 tomorrow, and I was feeling my energy, like a couple of years ago now, I was feeling my energy start to dip a little bit. That's quite frustrating here, because as it gets warmer, I was feeling, as I was getting busier, I was feeling this dip in energy, and I started taking these, and I noticed a massive shift in my energy. And they've got like basically everything you need, your omegas, your antioxidants, and they're actually in a bioavailable format, so the body sees them as a foodstuff, so you won't get green wee. And they're just amazing. I had a little bit of joint pain that went for me. I've, everyone on my team in the last kind of year and a half has been really healthy. Whether or not that's because of these vitamins, I obviously can't make that claim, but they, for me, just to having stable energy, even in August, I'm always working, even when it's kind of the heat of the day, and I never feel like I get that dip. My energy's sustained and consistent. And if you have a look on my feed, there's some testimonials as well from some of our customers on these. I've got lots more testimonials on my website if you're interested in looking these up. But if you go onto YouTube and put in doTERRA Lifelong Vitality Pack, you'll see lots of videos, Dr. Axe talking about them, and they really are amazing. And the best thing is that they're a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if you don't like them, send your empties back and you get a full refund. Okay, so there are 3 ways to purchase. The first way is retail, and I don't recommend this to anybody. I think this is why sometimes doTERRA have got the reputation of being expensive, because people just go onto like my website and shop. You can do that, but I really don't recommend it because it is the most expensive way to buy oils. A more cost-effective way is to set up your own wholesale account. So you could set up a wholesale account for €24, pop that on, and then just order odd oils, whatever you want. Maybe you just want lemon and peppermint, that's fine. You can just get those odd oils. The way that we recommend enrolling is by getting a kit. When you buy a kit, an enrollment kit, not only will you get the wholesale account, so you'll always get 25% off, but you'll enroll for free, and you'll often get a gift, okay? So I'll talk a little bit about the gifts at the end. And also you can set up a monthly order, an LRP, and get a free oil every month. Okay, so that's another nice way to kind of build your oil collection and get some nice free oils. Okay, so with regards to the kits, there are lots of different kits that we do, but I'm just going to kind of talk about 2 of them. So the oils that I've presented today are the top 10 oils. So doTERRA do about 100 oils, singles and blends, but actually these oils that I've presented, and I haven't presented the whole kit, these oils just cover so much, they really do, and they're the best-selling oils. Hence I just thought, I'll get on today and present them to you. So these oils come in these kits. So firstly, you can buy the small kit, which we call the Family Essentials kit, and that's 80 drops in a small little 80 drop bottle. And this is a great little starter kit. You get 10 oils, and we really guide you through how to use those oils. So you get 10 oils, some of the ones that I've presented, and also some extras. And that's the first kit, and that costs £122, €139 plus postage. If you kind of want to get a bit more involved and you want a nice diffuser in your home to clear the air out in your office, then you could get the larger kit, which is this size, 250 drops. And the same 10 oils, this is the Home Essentials kit, and this costs £239 plus postage, or €272, okay? Now with both of these kits, this month you can get gifts. So that if you get the small kit, you get a bottle of red mandarin. Red mandarin is a beautiful, joyous, brings the inner child into your heart oil, and you would get that free with the small kit. If you decide you want to kind of go for the larger kit, and it equates to over 200 PV, okay, PV is like product value, then you would get you would get clementine, a large one, so you get a small red mandarin, a large clementine, a beautiful uplifting citrus, and you would get a large 250 drops of lime, the oil of the zest for life. And so basically they're the gifts, free gifts this month, and that's only until the 15th of this month. So if you decide, you know what, I want to know more, and you want to, this is like I've kind of whizzed through the oils today. If you want to know more, then please give me a shout. So if you did want to enroll with me or anyone on my team, we offer 3 wellness consults. So when you get your oils, you give me a shout, and then I guide you through how to use those oils. And then, maybe you want to use them, and then a month later we have a chat again. We could talk about LRP, and we could talk about, the way that you can get free oils. And we have lots of different things always going on in our community. We do community raffles. In June, we're doing a women's health summit. And if you're interested in that, please let me know. We're constantly doing presentations on hormone health, emotional health, and really what we're creating on our team is community. And that is, one of the most beautiful things about this business. So, if for you, maybe you're a mum at home and you want something for you, you want a business for you, or maybe you're doing a job that you don't really like and you want a plan B, then this is something you can start doing with your colleagues and with your friends. And it's a beautiful business, through this whole time. It's been difficult as a yoga teacher to work because studios haven't been open. It's not always so easy to do everything on Zoom. And this business has given me, it's something consistent that I can do all the time, that, it's not a get rich quick campaign like some of these network marketing companies are. It's not. It takes work and it takes dedication. But we're really helping people. So, if you're the kind of person that wants to help people, that wants to create abundance, and that can follow a formula, and you want to work with me, then please give me a shout, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about the business and what it involves and what the possibilities are. So I hope that was useful today. If you've got any questions, or if I went too quickly, I'm sure there's loads that I didn't cover, then please let me know. And please follow me, connect with me, send me a comment. I would love to hear from you. Namaste. Thank you.